Assalamualaikum. Today, our group will be presenting about product photography. But first, let me introduce our group members. My name is MARDIANA binti MARDZUKHI, and our group members is HARITH bin ABDULLAH, Muhammad Ali ASHRAF Hanafi, AIMAN RAZIQ bin YAZID, Muhammad AMIR FAWWAZ and Muhammad ASRI, and last is Nur ASHIKIN FATIYAH binti HARUN. So, today we will be presenting about product photography. So, what is product photography? Product photography is everywhere we look and everywhere we go. While scanning the web or looking at magazine, brochure, and outdoor advertisements, we often see the products for sale and different types of product photography to advertise it. So, photography is so important to selling the products. Images are crucial to supporting the company brands and converting sales. So today you're gonna see our 5 different types of product photography. Without further ado, we pass to Harith.
Thank you, Mardiana, for the brief introduction. So today I'm going to talk about white background photography. Why do you use white background in front of a product? So first of all, they make your products pop. So the benefit of choosing one color means store consistency. Plus, if you want to show your products with least amount of distraction, white backgrounds are the best way to do this. They also offer more versatility for all marketing channels if you're on a tight budget. And not to mention, white background photos are easier to edit and it is easier to upgrade from white to color. So let's move on to how to take a picture with a white background. Now the first and foremost step is to pick your lighting. Getting your light right from the start means less time and effort at the editing stage. There are 2 types of light, the natural light and studio light. Natural light is a good option if you have a smaller budget and are using light bulbs. In fact, there are plenty of professional photographers who prefer natural over studio lighting. Now for studio light, if you have a little more budget for your product photography, it is worth it. It is less editing and requires less amount of time to set it up. Now the second is to set up your background. Whether you are using natural light and a backdrop or a light box or tent, you want to ensure that your background material is set up with a sweep. The idea is to ensure you have no sharp corners or blemishes behind your product, as seen to this example. Now the third is to set up your product. Once your lighting and backdrop are in place, it's time to place your product. You want to make sure that you put your product in front of your background before the sweep, of course, and in the middle of your surface. You also want to make sure that you have placed it or your light box on a stable, flat surface. Now, step 4 is to set up your tripod. You have got your lights, your backdrop, and your products. Now it's time to set up your tripod. The reason a camera or a smartphone tripod is so important is that it ensures that you're keeping a constant focus and depth. It's much better to move the product slightly than to move the camera. And step 5, last but not least, is to test your camera setting and get them just right. You will need to tweak this to ensure that you have achieved the best photos possible. Here are the top camera settings from what I've taken. So the first is the image size. You have to select the biggest image size and do not use any flash. For lenses, if you're using a DSLR, you don't want to use wide angle lenses as this will distort your photos. For ISO, the higher the ISO, the brighter the photo. However, the higher the ISO number, the more distorted or noisy your photo will be. And then the quality of the image must be at its highest, of course, and the aperture is between f8 to f11, depending on the depth of field or your focus will be. The shutter speed, the smaller the number, the brighter your photo will be. And white balance, I recommend beginners set their white balance to automatic to reduce any complications. And last but not least, for filters, do not use any filters. Avoid using digital filters or camera light filters as this could distort the true colors of your product. Alright, thank you for listening. Let's move on to FAWWAZ.
In product photography, the scale of the product must be shown clearly so that customers can see the size of the product before buying. This is important in order to avoid confusion, to gain trust of the customer so that they buy the product again, and to reduce return rates. The question is, How do we do this? The easiest way to show the size of the product is by showing the measurement, but this forces the reader to read the website page. When marketing a product, the customer will first look at the picture of the product, as the picture will capture the customer's attention first. So, one of the ways of showing the size of the product is by taking a picture of the product with other common items. In this way, customer can estimate the size of the product by comparing it with the common household items such as pencils, pen, car keys, pottery, and etc. etc. For example, the picture on the left shows the cards and the gift wrapping, which are the products, being taken alongside a pen, string, paper sheets, and ceramics. In the picture, we can see that the length of the gift card is equal to the length of the pencil, so the customer can estimate the size of the card, which is the product, without looking at the website. Next, when marketing product with different sizes, it is important to show the differences between the sizes clearly. This is important to avoid confusion for the customers so that they do not buy the wrong size when purchasing our products. For example, the picture on the right shows the picture of 6 handbags with 2 different sizes, which are small and medium. From the picture, we can see that the size of the bags are the same, and the only way to differentiate the sizes is by reading the small text below it. From the picture, we cannot differentiate the size clearly, and this will cause confusion towards the customers. So, we need to show the differences in the size of the product clearly when marketing our product. Next, we will go to Budi for his part of the presentation.
Hi everyone, I'm Muhammad ASHRAF bin HANAPI from EE, and as part of our product photography presentation, I'll be talking about product grouping. So let's just dive right in, okay? Not waste any more time, let's just dive straight in. Now, product grouping is actually a very key technique in taking product photography, okay? Reasons being, it's very simple. It's because product photography helps illustrate to your customers, okay, to your viewers, all right, several options and variations. You can see in one photo all the possible color combinations or variations of your product. Okay, let's say you're selling a shirt, you might want to see all the designs of the shirt. So that is why it is important to have grouped photos, okay, group product photos. Okay, now this is also key, okay, in helping to determine the scale or the size, the shape of the object. All right, very important. Okay, you look at this photo we have here. All right, it's a set of Nike shoes. All right, all of them are actually the Olympic 2020 line. Unfortunately, the Olympics got cancelled, but we're not going to talk about that. Now, the Olympics line, okay, these are different type of shoes, very different. Track shoes, running shoes, football shoes, etc. Okay, very different shoes. But we can see, thanks to the group photo, this is a line of shoes. Okay, Olympic 2020 line. Remember, it's a line of shoes, not just one type of shoe. Okay, and it is, well, you can see all the variations. You can see, okay, admittedly it has only one color scheme, but you can see all the different variations, and you can also see the relative shape of each shoe type to relative to the other ones. And you see that a track shoe is actually comparatively smaller than a training shoe, okay, a jogging shoe. All right, now when should you use product grouping like this? Well, obviously when you have multiple variations on your product, okay, or if you're launching a whole product line like what Nike did here with the Olympic 2020 line. All right, we're going to look at some more examples in the next slide. Here in this slide we can see, okay, we can look at the main photo right here. All right, big one, it's a photo of 4 Samsung phones, but what you might not realize is 3 of these phones are actually just different color variations, but the last phone, the gray phone, is actually a completely different phone. It's larger, and you can see that by comparing the size, the relative size of the phone, thanks to it being grouped in one photo. It's actually a different phone, but it's in the same photo because they want to illustrate how different that phone is compared to the other phone. Now we can look also at the top right. This is a makeup brand, a skincare brand, and you can see that they're launching a whole new lineup so that it's easier to see one entire lineup of products instead of just seeing one by one by one by one by one. It's going to be very well, it's going to be very tiring for your customers or viewers to look through each and every photo when they can just look at one single photo of the entire product line at once. Alright, and then we have, last but not least, this is a Fenty Beauty lipstick shade comparison. Okay, and once again, product grouping is really helpful in showing the differences in the shade of these lipsticks, okay, which is very good, and it's illustrated on a pink background, flesh colored, salmon, whatever you call it. Okay, and it's crucial because, you know, women want to know, girls want to know, or people who wear makeup in general want to know what the makeup will look like against skin. So you see, product photography, product grouping is very important in product photography, as well as the aforementioned reasons, and that's all I have to talk about it. Alright? Okay. Pass you on to the next guy.
Hello, my name is AIMAN, and now I'm going to explain about Simple Product Shot. Simple Product Shot is a product-only image that is meant to show the product in its best light from many different relevant angles. They are usually shot on a white background. This would also usually help to create a consistent look across the product line. And the reason to learn about this is since right now, in the midst of the pandemic, product photography is on high rise due to reasons that online shopping is on high demand, where millions of people need to display their product in a good, clean looking way for them to sell. And for online retailers that has many or a wide variety of products, speed and efficiency is really necessary and important when it comes to taking the pictures for the product to be sold. And for this, not many complicated shots need to be taken. This would also help if you are working with a time constraint, and this also mean that the shots are simple and static, which will translate to not many things will be needed for the shot to start or to begin with. And next, let's start with the tips for you to start with taking pictures of simpler product shots. First is to position your product correctly. The first step is to make sure that scene and the setting will make a good image to begin with. Anyone visiting or looking at the picture wants to see the product to be focused, high quality, and very clear, so they will know what you are selling. To that end, you want to make sure that your product is clean and your setup is correct before start taking pictures. The next would be to watch your backgrounds and your lighting. A plain white background is the best for most of the products. This would usually let your product to really take the spotlight and removes any distractions. You can also set the scene with contextual shots for your product in their environment. For example, fashion, you could place it on a model or cooking gear. You could take it in the kitchen. And camping gear would really look good in the outdoors. No matter what, make sure the background fits the product and your target customer. Avoid distractions and make sure the scenery adds up to the focus instead of taking it away. And then the lighting. The best and the cheapest lighting would be natural lighting, and it is much more forgiving to work with rather than artificial light. If you are, in if you are in fact using artificial light and shooting indoors, you might want to set the white background studio with a window either on the left or the right, and the white reflector on the opposite side of the window. You want the light of the product to be evenly and without any shadows. Next is to shoot with multiple angles and details. Customer will always want to see as much as they can before buying the product. As the price goes up, so will their need of the information of the product. Make sure to provide with high quality images for your most expensive product to help make the sale. Shoot at all sides and angles as much as you can. Make sure to zoom in the details of the product points of use. For example, the zippers, the buttons, the controls, the straps, etc. Anything that will interact with frequently is fair game for a close-up. Now for the last tip, it is to shoot a variety of images. If you are, for example, shooting a clothing product, capture the garment of the clothing alone first, and then later you can spread it out on a white surface. Later also you can put it on a mannequin whose color contrasts the color of the clothing product. Finally, you can put it on a model, on a real person, so they could further give you more materials to take picture with. There is no need to invest everything on the equipment all at once. Apply prior tips one by one and then see which satisfy you and improve on the part that does not.
Non-traditional product photo is a type of photo that does not showcase a product. These are set up, lit and staged just like a normal product photo that featuring a product, but there is no specific product in the image. This type of product photo do not sell a product but rather an idea. This type of product photo also based on a concept or theme, just like birthday party or anniversary or time or study or hard work, anything. For the first example, these scattered balloons and party accessory represent the idea of a party and celebration preparation. As you can see, there is no product specially for sale, but the stores can use this image to promote their holiday sales and party planner service. For the second example, as you can see, this product photo was created based on the concept of Halloween Day. There is nothing special for sale in this photo, yet the image conveys the celebration of the Halloween party. Thus, the client can use this type of photo for anything related to Halloween Day. Here is my last example. This is another product photo that does not promote a product. This image is a part of a series of images of learning process. The advertising team was study, so the client can use this image for anything related to studies, or even they can use this image to promote their online education web or online tuition. And next, I'll pass the floor to MARDIANA for some short conclusion. Okay, alright, you have heard all the 5 tips on product photography. So, product photos are proof of the product characteristic. So, most shopper looks at product photography first and then read the description to confirm if the product is right for them. So, this is a crucial method to identify which product is best for the consumer. So, that's all. Thank you for our group.